Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I've got one of the most popular styles of fragrance videos out there. No, not beast mode, not versatility, not fragrances that put me into soul-crushing, debilitating debt.
When they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
No! Compliments! That's what we're talking about today. My 10 most complimented fragrances of the year. So these are the ones that consistently got me positive attention, that got people talking about what I was wearing or asking what I was wearing. This does come with the common caveat though, that most compliments you get are going to be from people you know. So whether that's coworkers, family members, loved ones, friends, whatever. Because if they already know you, obviously pretty easy to open up a conversation or ask you about something. You don't get as many compliments from people that you don't know. And also it depends on where you're going, what you're doing, how social you are, all that stuff as well. So what I mean to say is, just because you're wearing a fragrance that people love, if you stay inside playing video games all day, probably not gonna get many compliments, right?
I don't like where this is going.
All the fragrances that I talked to you about are gonna be linked in the description, so feel free to check them out down there. And since it is the giving season, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway with today's video as well, with a bunch of stuff, which I'll go over as the video goes along. All right, first fragrance, and this one is an honorable mention, and you'll see why. It is West Loop, which is a fragrance that I creatively directed. So I don't feel right putting this into the official top 10 because it is my own fragrance, but I did wear this one a lot, and it always does really, really well for me in terms of pulling compliments. So just kind of an honorable mention. So as I said, I creatively directed this one. It was released underneath the Michael Malone brand. I also have some other fragrances over here that I creatively directed. Of those ones, South Slope, Terra Nova, Jet Black Enigma, and Edgewater. South Slope is the other one that does really well for me in terms of compliments. Note breakdown wise, West Loop has toasted cinnamon, almond blossom, vanilla orchid, myrrh, lavender, tobacco leaf, patchouli, amberwood, and tonka. Super pleasant, smells absolutely amazing in the air, has a really magnetic, sexy sweetness to it. Perfect for fall and winter, good daytime or evening scent, and it's one that in the air, to me, smells 10 times better than up close, even though up close it still smells really good. This one you can find in every single Perfumania or fragrance outlet store in the country, if you're in the US anyway. So if you have one nearby, you can stop in and check it out. Also available on Nordstrom.com or Michael Malone's website. And I will also be giving away a bottle of this one. This isn't the only thing I'm gonna be giving away. There's more stuff to come, but yeah, full sealed bottle of West Loop. All right, into the top 10, my most complimented fragrances this year. Number 10, Eros Parfum from Versace. In terms of notes, Eros Parfum has mint, lemon, apple, tonka, amber, vanilla, and geranium, among other notes. And this one to me is the best of that original Eros DNA. It's not as synthetic smelling as the Eau de Toilette. Not that there's anything wrong with the Eau de Toilette if you like that one, but this one just has more of a natural feel to it overall. Smells higher quality, classier, sexier, but still has that little touch of playfulness that the Eros DNA is known for. It feels more balanced as well. Like the mint isn't, overly bubblegummy sweet. The vanilla isn't bashing you over the head. Just really, really sexy, perfect for fall, winter, and spring, and another one that's good during day or evening. So Eros Parfum for me, number 10. Number 9 is Dior Sauvage Elixir. The Sauvage line, extremely well known for compliments, right? Whether we're talking the original Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, the Parfum, or Elixir. It's just my own personal taste. I wear this one more, which obviously gives it more opportunities to get compliments. Kind of goes without saying, but if you have a fragrance that you love, but it's really just used once or twice a year, like more of a formal type fragrance or a special occasion type fragrance, probably not gonna pull as much attention as something that you wear 20, 30 times through the year. And when it comes to Sauvages, if I'm gonna be wearing one, probably gonna be Elixir. Now, in terms of notes, Sauvage Elixir has nutmeg, cinnamon, lavender, licorice, sandalwood, and cardamom. Very strong, rich, bold, masculine smelling, woodsy and spicy, but with a little bit of an underlying sweetness. Again, not an overwhelming sweetness though. Don't worry, if you like really sweet fragrances, I do have some of those coming up. But this stuff right here rips. It is great for fall and winter. Again, daytime or evening. I've actually smelled people wearing this before in the middle of summer, and it kind of worked. They didn't have on a whole lot of it, thank God, but for me, I'm gonna reach for something else when it's warm out. And I also really love how this has a little throwback touch to it, It's like it was inspired by fragrances from the 80s, but done in a higher quality, more modern way that makes it smoother, richer, more wearable. Number 8, Azzaro's The Most Wanted. And this is the Eau de Parfum or Eau de Parfum Intense, depending on where you look. Also the Parfum edition, that one does very well for me. Eau de Toilette Intense, I don't like as much as the Eau de Parfum and Parfum. Not that it's bad, it's definitely its own type of fragrance compared to those two. It's just, if I'm wearing the Most Wanted, it's gonna be this one or the Parfum. Note breakdown wise, really simple. It's got cardamom, toffee, and amberwood. That's it. Not a big fan of the 3-note breakdown, but what are you gonna do? This one really warm, sweet, sexy, has kind of a gourmand flair to it around the edges, a little bit similar to things like Stronger With You. And this is just one of those scents that works. It works extremely well, which is why it has become so popular ever since it came out. Because when it very first hit, talking about this one, when it first dropped, people were like, oh, that's cool, a new Azzaro Wanted, whatever. Because the original Wanted didn't really hit in a huge way. Wanted by Night, I think, is amazing. A lot of people really like that, but it's kind of like a cult fragrance, cult classic almost. Wanted Tonic, not that great. And so when this one hit, it was like, okay, whatever. But then as more people got their nose on it, it was like, wait a second. This is an attention monster, and at full retail, it's not even that expensive, at least compared to a lot of other things out there. Stuff works. Now before we head to the next fragrance, guys, here are some codes you can use to save money across a bunch of different websites. So if you shop at any of these sites, which include Fragflex, JOMASHOP, Max Aroma, and more, use those codes to save yourself some money. Let's also go over really quickly one of the other fragrances I'm gonna give away. It's on top of this, not one or the other. Viktor&Rolf Spicebomb Dark Leather. I was able to pick up a bottle for a pretty good price, and I know some people are disappointed in this one in terms of the performance. It doesn't project really loudly, especially compared to the other Spice Bombs, but it does smell really sexy, especially in the opening. I think it's really appealing. So as long as you don't mind reapplying or you don't mind having a kind of more subtle, classy take on Spice Bomb, it could work really well for you. And where it's brand new, you usually can't find these ultra cheap. So I'll put that one in with this one. Let's keep moving with the list. Number 7, Y Live from Yves Saint Laurent. Now this is one that I kind of got back into. I really liked it when it came out because it kind of smells like bits of Invictus mixed with the Y DNA. And actually it was a compliment monster for me when this was new. This stuff crushed. And then, you know, time goes on, don't wear it as much, actually just kind of forget about it a little bit. And you go back to it and you remember, oh, that stuff was awesome. I'm gonna wear that some more. And that's what happened with this year. It's getting a little harder to find, which is unfortunate because this is just as good as Y Eau de Parfum or Y Le Parfum in terms of compliments, if not better for a lot of people. It's got that sweetness, but it's also very fresh as well. The note breakdown, a little bit weird with it. So it's got citrus, orange blossom, juniper, woods, like all of that's pretty normal. But then it also has cacao in there. Chocolate. Yeah. Do I ever actually smell chocolate in this? No. And depending on where you look, actually, the note breakdown can be completely different for this one. But if you go to the official YSL site, that's where it does say on there that it has cacao in the base. So go figure. It does have bubblegum sweetness, but like I said, it's very fresh, extremely easy to wear. Not overdone with the sweetness for me. Perfect for spring, summer, and fall. Great daytime fragrance. Just a massive, massive attention grabber. And it's one of those ones where if you really like the Y line, but for some reason you have never smelled this one, you don't have it, it's worth checking out, especially as it gets harder to find. Number 6, Invictus Victory Elixir from Paco Rabanne. So we're back to another fall, wintertime fragrance with this one, and it is very vanilla forward. On top of vanilla, there's also tonka, lavender, cardamom, and incense in this fragrance. This one has a little similarity to the tropical sweetness that Le Beau de Parfum has from Jean Paul Gaultier. This one also has a great sparkling, semi-dark, but very sweet and appealing opening. Unbelievably sexy, perfect for a date night fragrance or a night out fragrance in general when it's cool outside. The original Invictus Victory is also very good, but between the two, I'm wearing this one. Number 5, another one for fall and winter time, Scandal Absolu. This is a new release from this year, the first fragrance from 2024 in my most complimented list, and this is one of my favorite releases of the year. It does have another derpy note breakdown. 3 notes, Mirabelle Plum, Chestnut, Sandalwood. That's it. I'm not a big fan of the whole 3-note thing. I don't like it. oversimplification. This is a fragrance that kind of plays in the same wheelhouse as the Most Wanted. So you would wear it in a lot of the same places, same times. It has great performance, definitely more of a night out, cozy, sexy fragrance, but it can get you noticed very, very, very well because it has enough performance to cut through the cold and it's gonna last all night. That chestnut, toffee kind of caramel vibe, really popular nowadays, and for good reason. Fragrances that center around that, as long as they're done well, are just absolutely amazing at pulling positive attention, which is what this one does. And for me, all three fragrances in the Men's Scandal line are worth owning, worth knowing about, but if I was gonna go with just one right now, it'd be the newest. Number 4 is this one, Myself from YSL. Another one with a simple note breakdown. It has bergamot in there, orange blossom, amberfix, and patchouli. And this is one of the biggest new releases that has come out in years. This thing absolutely shot up the charts last year, came out toward the end of August, and just in that last bit of time frame from last year, became one of the top 10 best-selling men's fragrances in the world. Of course, they came out with the new Le Parfum edition of this year, but between the two, this one has done a little bit better for me. Also, I think this one is a little more versatile because Myself Le Parfum is gonna be more like mid to late fall through winter, and then this one is more spring, summer, early fall. And also if you're going places where it's air conditioned, then you can wear this all year round. It's a very clean, fresh fragrance, a bit of sweetness off the top from the citrus, but really centered around those white florals. Makes it smell classy, versatile, easy to use. You can wear this anywhere, anytime, and people go crazy for it. All right, we're in the top 3. Number 3 is Paradise Garden from Jean Paul Gaultier. So this is another 2024 release, and it's one that I just fell in love with the second that I smelled it. Note breakdown wise, you've got green notes, aquatic notes, coconut, fig, mint, tonka, and ginger in there. So another one that's fresh, but also sweet. Solid amount of sweetness, but that's really what drives people crazy with this. When you get that combination of fresh and sweet in a fragrance and it's done really well, you usually have a hit on your hands. Because when you go and work through all these fragrances, that's what a lot of these have in common. They're either sweet or they're fresh, or they're both. At least usually, that's how it works. Last year, Le Beau Le Parfum was my most complimented fragrance of 2023. So that DNA, that style works extremely well. And this year, I was wearing Paradise Garden a lot. It was the first release this year that really caught my attention, so I wore it through spring, through a good amount of summer, and it's just one of those ones that works extremely well, which put it in 3rd place. In 2nd place, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense. Vanilla Lavender Vetiver, that is your note breakdown. And this one for me just walks the line perfectly of what I want in a fragrance. What I mean by that is, it has nice sweetness from the vanilla. It's got a good amount of it, but it's not overwhelming. Especially in the air, it's tempered a little bit from that lavender and that vetiver. So it also has a nice freshness, like a masculine, clean, fresh vibe from the lavender. The vetiver is really more of just a modern woodsy base. It doesn't come across dry or grassy or earthy or anything like that. So for some people that could make it a little more boring because it's kind of like a stripped down vetiver, but just in terms of wearability, versatility, compliment factor, it does everything that I want. It's got a nice modern, fresh, sweet, masculine vibe to it, good performance, nice projection, and it's one of those ones that in the air somehow smells even better than up close. Absolutely killer. All right, before we do number 1, let's add another bottle to the giveaway. We'll go with this one, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Parfum. L'Homme Ideal Parfum is kind of hard to find for a decent price, so I figured I'll go ahead and scoop up a bottle, add it to the giveaway. It's a line that's really well known for almond in their fragrances, and with this one they had amaretto instead of just straight up almond. So it has a nice boozy sweetness to go along with that almond vibe, tying it in with the rest of the line. And if you want to be entered in the giveaway for these 3 right here, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment below, and just let me know your most complimented fragrance of the year. That's all you got to do. Whatever it is, whatever worked for you. Give me a couple weeks, I'll pick a winner with random comment picker. If you're subscribed to the channel, you should see it because I will post up the winner on the community tab of the channel. And if you're the winner, all you have to do is hit me up and give me your shipping information and I will ship these out to you. So there's the giveaway. Here's my most complimented fragrance of the year. In 1st place, Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum. Yep, Acqua di Gio Profondo. This is the new edition. I gotta say, I fell in love with this stuff when I first smelled it because as most of you know, I love Acqua di Gio Profondo. I like Acqua di Gio in general, right? But Acqua di Gio Profondo, the original one, that was my favorite Acqua di Gio. And I am a long-time Acqua di Gio wearer, going back to the original Eau de Toilette decades ago. But ever since Profondo came out, it's been my jam. And then they did the tweaked version, this new version with the new gradient bottle, which I actually like. And I like it even more, which means I'm wearing it. To be fair though, when I say Acqua di Gio Profondo in this list here, it is split between this one and the original Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum, so I don't know if that's cheating. I guess it's not because I made the rules, so Anyway, note breakdown wise, you've got rosemary, cypress, mineral notes, lavender, bergamot, orange, and of course aquatic notes as well. This newer iteration has a nice little slight boost to the sweetness, which really helps draw a little more attention in while you're wearing it. The minerality, very refreshing, and Acqua di Gio Profondo is more of a modern masculine take on that Acqua di Gio DNA, especially compared to the original Eau de Toilette. I'm not as big a fan of Profondo Parfum. I do very much prefer the Eau de Parfum, so don't get those mixed up. But that one, Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum, my most complimented of the year. All right, guys, there are the scents that did well for me this year. Remember the giveaway, if you want to be entered in that, I will set those aside for you. All of them still nicely sealed. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.